You looked in the mirror this morning. Something was still off. You couldn't name it. It wasn't your skin. It wasn't your makeup. It was the hair. And here's what nobody tells you. The wrong haircut doesn't just date you. It ages you. Not by a little. We're talking 4, 6, sometimes 8 years added to your face before you've even left the bathroom. Every single morning. There are 7 specific cuts that do the opposite. Lifts the face, sharpens the cheekbones, brings back the elegance that was always there. And in part 3, I'm covering the one cut most stylists still aren't recommending for women over 60. The one that changes everything about how your bone structure reads in photographs. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Haircut 1 and 2. The layered lob and the soft curtain bang bob. There's a moment, and I think most of you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you walk out of a salon and something just feels wrong. The cut is technically fine. Nothing is uneven. But you look at yourself and you think, that's not me. That's not who I am anymore. And usually, it's because the cut is fighting your face instead of working with it. This is the one a friend of mine heard and immediately went home and called her stylist. So stay with me here. The first cut we're talking about is the layered lob. And I want you to picture something very specific. Not a blunt one-length lob that sits flat and heavy at the jawline. A layered lob, length that falls between the chin and the collarbone, with soft movement built in through the ends. The layers aren't dramatic. They're subtle, but they do something the blunt version cannot. A blunt jaw-length lob pulls the eye straight across the face at the widest point, which means if your face is carrying any softness around the jaw, and most of us are after 60, that cut is quietly widening you every time someone looks at you, adding years, making the lower half of your face the first thing people see. The layered lob does something completely different. The length carries past the jaw. The layers at the ends create movement. And movement, actual visual movement, pulls the eye upward, toward the cheekbones, toward those beautiful eyes, toward the upper half of the face where your strongest features live. If you're still wearing a one-length bob that hits at the jaw, this is the swap. Layered lob, falling just to the collarbone. Ask for face framing layers cut on a slight angle toward the front. That's it. That's the instruction. Now the second cut. And this one, I want to be honest, surprised me when I first started really looking at it. It's the soft curtain bang bob. And the reason it works so specifically for women over 60 comes down to one thing. It addresses the forehead. Here's the thing about foreheads after 60. They lengthen. Hairlines shift. And a wide, exposed forehead without any softness around it can make the face look longer and more severe than it actually is. Which adds years. Not 2, 4 to 6 in certain lighting. The curtain bang doesn't do what heavy blunt bangs do. It doesn't chop the face or sit flat across the forehead like a shelf. It parts softly at the center and sweeps outward. It creates a frame. And that frame does 2 things simultaneously. It shortens the visual length of the forehead, and it draws attention to the eyes and cheekbones. Write this one down. The curtain bang only works if it's cut to graze, not cover, the eyebrows. Too short, and it looks dated. Too long, and the framing effect disappears entirely. Graze. That's the word to use with your stylist. Maintenance on these 2 cuts is simple. A trim every 8 weeks keeps the layered lob from going shapeless. The curtain bang needs a light dusting every 6. Bangs grow faster than the rest of the cut, and they'll lose their frame if you leave them. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Haircut 3 and 4. The pixie with soft crown volume and the angled shag. Have you ever actually looked, really looked, at a woman with a beautifully cut pixie and thought she looked like she was trying to hide? No. You thought she looked confident. Like she owned the room. There's a reason the pixie gets written off by a lot of women over 60. And I get it. It sounds like a commitment. It sounds like giving something up. But the version most women picture, the flat, cropped, no-volume pixie, is not the cut we're talking about here. This is the one I see most often ignored in the conversation about mature hair. And it's the most powerful one if you get it right. The pixie with soft crown volume. Not close cropped all over. not an even length around the head. The key is length on top. Enough length at the crown and through the front hairline to build lift. The sides and the nape are shorter, yes, but the top has movement. And that crown volume does something very specific. It adds height to the face. A flat top reads as a flat forehead. And a flat forehead, without any visual height above it, shortens the upper face and makes the lower half look heavier. This is exactly why so many women who go short end up looking older rather than younger. It's not the shortness. It's the flatness. The pixie with crown volume is a completely different thing. The top layers are left long enough to be styled upward, or softly textured. With the right product, a light mousse or a texturizing spray, the crown lifts. And that lift changes the entire proportion of the face. The cheekbones red higher. The jaw looks narrower. The eyes become the center of the image, not the chin. Yes. That's simple. If you're already wearing a pixie and wondering why it isn't working, ask your stylist to leave 1.5 inches to 2 inches on top and texturize the crown layers. That's the difference between a pixie that ages you and a pixie that does the opposite. Now let's talk about the angled shag. And I want to be clear about what this means because the word shag puts some women off immediately. They picture something messy, something undone. That's not the mature shag. The mature angled shag is structured where it needs to be and free where it counts. The angled shag keeps length in front, longer pieces framing the face, and graduates shorter toward the back. The texture is built through layers, not bluntness. And that texture is everything, because straight across blunt cuts at this age create weight lines. They make the hair look heavy and flat, and heavy flat hair pulls the face downward. There's something about the angled shag that nobody really talks about. It moves. And moving hair makes people look alive in a way that still, flat hair never does. In photographs, in video calls, in person, movement is youth. The maintenance here. A trim every 8 to 10 weeks to keep the angle clean. The front framing pieces must stay intentional. Once they lose their angle, the cut loses its lift. Book in before they go. The next mistake is the one I see most often. And the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Haircut 5. The face framing long bob with internal layers. Most women over 60 who come in asking for a change say the same 3 words. Just clean it up. And I understand that impulse completely. You don't want to commit to something dramatic. You want the version of yourself you know, just better. But just clean it up is the instruction that 9 times out of 10 produces a cut that makes things worse. I watched a woman in a salon chair last year. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, the kind of natural elegance that doesn't need any help, and she kept saying it. Just clean it up. The stylist trimmed everything even, made it neat, and she walked out looking 5 years older than she walked in. Because clean, without intention creates bluntness. And bluntness at 60 is not your friend. This is the part most women find hardest to hear, but it's the one that matters most. The 5th cut is the face framing long bob with internal layers. And this cut is different from what most women picture when they hear long bob, because the magic here is not visible on the outside. It's internal. Internal layers. Cut through the mid-lengths and ends but hidden beneath the surface. Don't change the outside perimeter of the cut. They don't shorten anything. They don't make the hair look choppy. What they do is remove weight from the interior of the hair. And removing interior weight changes everything about how the hair moves. Heavy, dense, blunt hair falls straight down. It has no lift at the roots. No movement at the ends. It creates a curtain around the face. And that curtain, without any framing or texture, pulls everything downward. It flattens the cheekbones and adds at least 4 to 5 years to how your face reads in any light, including natural daylight. The same length with internal layers does something completely different. The hair lifts slightly away from the face. The ends move. And the face framing pieces, cut to angle toward the chin, create a visual V shape around the face. That V shape is a natural facelift. This one is everything. If you're getting a long bob and you are not asking specifically for internal layers and face framing pieces angled toward the chin, you are getting half the cut. Ask for both, in those exact words. Internal layers and face framing pieces angled toward the chin. Write it down before your next appointment. Maintenance on this one is honest. Internal layers are only as good as the last trim. After 10 weeks, the weight comes back. The movement disappears. And the whole point of the cut disappears with it. This is the cut that requires the most consistent upkeep. But it's also the cut that delivers the most consistent visual result. One more thing on this cut specifically. If you color your hair, even subtly, ask for the lightest pieces to be placed in the face framing sections. Light reflects forward and draws the eye upward. The face framing pieces become the brightest element in the frame. And bright elements at the cheekbone level are worth more than any cream or serum I know. I didn't expect part 4 to be the one people message me about most. But it always is. Haircut 6. The textured French bob. Bold truth. The French bob is the most misunderstood cut in the conversation about mature women's hair. And that misunderstanding is costing women years they don't have to be giving away. Most women hear French bob, and they picture something very specific, short, blunt, hitting around the cheekbone, with a full fringe across the forehead. And that version, for many women over 60, is genuinely aging. Not because the cut is wrong, because the details are wrong. The textured French bob is a completely different animal. And I need you to understand exactly what makes it different before your next appointment. Keep this in your back pocket, because most stylists will not tell you this without you asking first. A blunt French bob cut at cheekbone length creates a horizontal line across the face at its widest point, which means the eye reads wide, flat, heavy, and the full heavy fringe across the top adds another horizontal line across the forehead. 2 horizontal lines, 1 frame, and that frame is working against your bone structure from every angle. The textured version changes 3 things. The length drops, not to the cheekbone but to the jaw or just below it. The ends are texturized rather than cut blunt, creating movement instead of a hard line. And the fringe is changed from a solid wall of hair to a wispy, airy fringe, or eliminated entirely in favor of soft sideswept pieces. 3 things change when you make these adjustments. The eye stops reading horizontal lines and starts reading diagonal ones. From the jaw upward toward the cheekbone, diagonal lines slim. They lift. They create an upward visual movement. The eye follows without knowing it's being guided. The texturized ends create airiness around the jaw. And airiness at the jaw, not weight, not bluntness, makes the jaw appear narrower and more refined. And the wispy fringe, or no fringe at all, opens the forehead, creates vertical space above the face. And vertical space reads as height, which in a face means youth. This is the thing about the textured French bob that nobody in this space talks about. The details are the whole cut. Get the details wrong and you have a look that adds years. Get them right and you have a look that could genuinely make someone ask whether you've done something different, in the best possible way. If you're already wearing a French bob and it isn't working, before you cut it off entirely or grow it out, try this first. Ask your stylist for point cutting on the ends. That's the technique that creates texture without removing length. Then ask for the fringe to be thinned and lengthened to a wispier version of itself. Those 2 adjustments alone can transform the cut. Upkeep on the textured French bob is every 6 to 7 weeks. This is a cut that relies on freshness. When the ends start to thicken back up, the horizontal lines come back with them. Stay on schedule. What I'm covering in the next part, most women find it even harder to hear. But it's the one that matters most. Haircut 7 and the final truth. The long loose wave and the biggest choice you're making without knowing it. Here's something most women discover about their own hair somewhere around 60, and it lands differently depending on which side of it you're on. Some women decide that shorter is the only option. That long hair past a certain age reads as dated, or trying too hard, or somehow not appropriate. And some women hold on to length because it feels like the last thing they haven't changed. Both of those are emotional decisions. Neither of them is about what actually works. There's one thing about long hair after 60 that nobody in this space talks about honestly, and that's next. The 7th cut is the long loose wave, and it is the most elegant, the most youthful, and the most underestimated option for women over 60 who still want length, but only if it's done specifically right. Because here's what most women get wrong about long hair after 60. They keep it long, but they keep it straight, flat. One texture, one direction, no movement. and long flat hair without any wave or texture does something visually that works against you. It adds weight to the lower face. The hair falls straight down alongside the cheeks and the jaw, and the eye reads all of that as belonging to the face. The face appears longer, heavier, more severe, older. The long loose wave is different from a curl. It's not tight. It's not structured. It's a soft, unhurried wave that begins somewhere around the ear level and moves through the ends. That wave creates width through the mid-lengths of the hair, at cheekbone height. And that width is doing the opposite of what flat hair does. It's adding visual volume at exactly the level where you want attention. And then there's the element of softness. Soft hair, visually soft, moving, warm, reads as younger than stiff, heavy, or perfectly flat hair. It's not about perfection. It's about approachability. And the long loose wave is the softest, most approachable version of long hair I know. You needed to hear this. If you're wearing your long hair straight, this is the swap. Add a soft wave using a large barrel wand, 32 millimeters or larger, and only wave from the ear downward. Leave the root section natural. This keeps the roots from looking overdone and the wave from looking costume-like. Finish with a light hold spray, not a firm one. The wave needs to move. Now, the biggest choice you're making without knowing it. This is not about which cut you choose. This is about how you're walking into the salon. Because every single one of these 7 cuts requires one thing to work. A specific conversation with your stylist before they pick up a pair of scissors. Take a little off. Clean it up. Same as last time. These are the instructions that keep you in the same place. Bring a photograph. Name the specific elements you want. The length, the layer placement, the framing pieces. Use the words in this video. Internal layers. Face framing pieces angled toward the chin. Crown volume. Wispy fringe. Large barrel waves from the ear down. The right cut exists. It's waiting. You just have to walk in knowing how to ask for it. Coming up, the one accessory mistake that adds years overnight. You're not going to see it coming. You just learned 7 specific haircuts that work with your bone structure, your face shape, and the natural elegance you've had all along. And you did it in one sitting. No guessing. No vague advice. Real cuts with real details you can walk into any salon and ask for by name. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now it shows. Tell me in the comments, which of these 7 cuts were you most surprised by? And which one are you booking in for?